Many of you probably know about Steinhart, as they have been making a name for themselves in the last 2 decades, producing excellent quality Swiss-made watches for an affordable price. There's definitely one drawback for some collectors though, and that's that Steinhart only make homage watches. However, the homages that they produce are extremely well made and come with plenty of specs for your dollar. Plus, the models they produce are generally paying homage to discontinued Rolex models that are pretty much not obtainable, or at least very expensive. Steinhart was founded in 2001 by a German watchmaker by the name of Gunther Steinhart in Augsburg, Germany. The company's headquarters remains based in Germany to this day, and they only sell their watches online through their company website and through Gnomon Watches' authorized retailer, who they have partnered with to create some gorgeous looking watches, including the one I'm about to show you. They also only use Swiss movements, and all of their watches are cased and go through their final inspection in Switzerland and are made up of mostly Swiss parts. Therefore, they qualify to have the famous words "Swiss made" printed on the dial, a branding that is synonymous with quality and reliability. Steinhart is still a small company that only consists of 1 designer and 3 watchmakers. As a collector, I can really appreciate that, knowing that each and every watch from Steinhart is made with extreme care by an experienced watchmaker. Something that certainly can't be said about some of those micro brands out there. The watch that I will be showing you guys today is a collaboration of Steinhart and Gnomon Watches. And Gnomon Watches is an online retailer based in Singapore. If you want to purchase this watch, you can do so on their website and their website only. This watch is paying homage to the Rolex Submariner from the 1960s with the 369 Explorer dial. That watch is selling right now for $250,000. So if that is slightly out of your price range, consider checking out this Steinhart alternative. So without any further delay, let's cue the intro and get on to the review. What is going on today, guys? Welcome to the channel. Here is the box you will receive with your Steinhart watch. And as you can see, it's a really nice pleather box. And it really looks and feels quality. Now underneath, you get a little card with lug width measurements. Plus, it's got some helpful tips on it, how to use the watch. You also get a little booklet indicating the movements used in your watch, plus information on all the movements they have used in both German and English. There's also a warranty sticker on the front with the issue date plus a 180-day extended warranty. Inside the box, you will find the watch. Now, I've already sized this to fit my 7.5-inch wrist. And I like the extra padding they have in here too. Really helps protect the watch in the shipping process, and just gives you a little bit more peace of mind. Starting with the dial, you have a gorgeous matte black dial that is fully printed with faux patina on all the markers, the minute track, and the writing on the dial. The hour markers are filled with C3 Superluminova, and at the 12 o'clock you have the Steinhart emblem, logo, and the model name crisply printed on the dial. And you have 100 meters equals 330 feet and submersible printed at the 6 o'clock. Also, you have below the 6, you have the word Swiss nicely printed. So for some reason they chose to go with 100 meters of water resistance equals 330 feet. I'm not really sure why they did that, because I believe on the original it was 200 meters, and I'll put up some pictures so you can see what I'm talking about. But this watch is actually capable of 300 meters of water resistance. It has been tested for that, and it is fully capable of doing that. The hands have what appear to be gold PVD coating on them, and they're filled with, again, C3 Superluminova. I will show a lume shot a little bit later, but I can tell you right now the lume performs extremely well. Overall, it's just a great looking dial that Steinhart deserves absolutely no credit for, but I will certainly give them credit for executing it with perfection. Moving on to the dimensions, I measure just under 39 millimeters from the 50 to the 20. So right around 39 millimeter case diameter. I measure 14 millimeters thick and 47, and that's to the top of the crystal, by the way, 47 millimeters lug to lug and a 20 millimeter lug width. So nice, perfect, compact size. The only thing that I would have changed is the 14 millimeter thickness. I would have liked to see 13, 12 and a half. With this ETA or SW200 movement, you can certainly reduce the thickness a little bit, but I think they wanted to add that 300 meters of water resistance, and that's why it's a little bit thicker. So I'm okay with it because it still wears really well. It is a 120 click unidirectional bezel with what to my eyes appears to be a ceramic bezel insert with the lume pip at 12 o'clock. But I can neither confirm nor deny that it is ceramic, as I couldn't find any information on the bezel insert they used for this particular model. But it does, however, look and feel extremely high quality, as to be expected on a Steinhart. The bezel itself is very stiff though, and I'm hoping it loosens up over time. Let's see if I can show this to you. Yeah, you really, especially with gloves on, let me go ahead and take the glove off and see how much of a difference it makes. Oh, it's actually harder. Yeah, bezel is way too stiff. And it really does not make for a very enjoyable experience. Matter of fact, it makes me not want to use it. So, let's see if I can manage to get this around. Okay, I finally got the bezel back around to 12 o'clock, and it does line up pretty nicely. It does look like it's a hair off to the left to my eyes, but it's really not very noticeable. But yeah, they really should loosen up that bezel. It is absolutely a nightmare to turn. So definitely something to keep in mind if the use of a bezel is important to you. For me, it is not very important, but a lot of you it probably will be. So definitely keep that in mind when considering this watch. The case is all 316L stainless steel and is very similar to the original Rolex, but is missing the chamfered edge down the side. And also, the crown is a little more tucked in on this Steinhart than the Rolex, and the lugs are a little more squared off on the Steinhart. They're a little more rounded on the Rolex. But the finishing and execution of the case, though, is excellent, with beautiful circular brushing on the top of the case and a flawless mirror polish on the sides. Absolutely gorgeous. The crystal is double domed, is a double domed sapphire crystal, and it has anti-reflective coating. I believe it's a little bit of blue AR, but it might be clear. It's very hard to tell. And the anti-reflective coating definitely does an excellent job in reducing glare and increasing legibility, and definitely adds to the luxury feel that you get from this watch. And the crystal sits up ever so slightly from the bezel and has a really nice beveled edge that plays with the light really nicely. So you can kind of see there. The lighting in here is not the greatest. I'm getting some studio lights very soon, so hopefully my next video will have my studio lights. The bracelet is all 316L stainless steel, and it has solid links and end links, so you can see. It has a milled clasp, a little flip block style milled clasp with 4 micro adjustment holes. Very nice polishing to the inside of this clasp as well, arms. And you get a really nice click when you click in both the clasp and the little flip lock. You have high polish on this little flip lock part of the clasp as well, and the links are fully brushed, but then with a high polish on the sides and a really nice satin-like brush. So this bracelet's really, really nice looking. Hopefully the camera's picking that up. Yeah, just absolutely gorgeous. The finishing on this is just top-notch. Really great for your money, definitely. The case back is semi-sterile. Let me open this up for you. And of course it is a screw down case back, which definitely helps stay true to that 300 meters of water resistance. And underneath that case back sits the movement, which in this case is either an ETA 2824 Elabore or the Sellita SW200 Elabore. So the Sellita movement is just a Swiss-made clone of the ETA, but the Sellita has 26 joules instead of the ETA's 25. They're both great movements though, and beat at a rate of 28,800 beats per hour at 4 hertz, and that equates to 8 ticks per second, which makes for a gorgeous sweep of the second hand, as you can see there. Since these movements are Elabore grade movements, they are adjusted at three positions instead of 1 or 2, which means they're going to be more accurate. They're both rated at plus or minus 7 seconds per day, which is pretty phenomenal at this price. Mine is running at an average of plus 5.1 seconds per day, which is actually chronometer grade accuracy, excuse me. That's within the limits of -4 to +6 seconds per day. And again, I am not sure whether mine has the ETA or the Sellita because I bought mine used and the owner didn't know. There is also nothing in the box that tells me specifically, so I suppose I could reach out to Steinhart and ask them, but to be honest, I could care less because they're both equal in my eyes. Lastly, we have the crown, and it is a screw-down crown. Has the Steinhart emblem embossed in it, so you can see that. The threading is very smooth, and once you unthread it, you can then turn it clockwise, which will wind the movement. If you pull it out to the first position, it actually won't do anything because that is a ghost position where the date function is on this movement, although it looks or it feels like they have taken the date wheel out because I don't feel it in there. And the final position is the time setting position, so that will hack the second hand, and you can then turn it counterclockwise to move forward or clockwise to move backward. And you can set the time, get it down to the exact second, push it back in, it restarts the movement, thread the crown back in, and you get nice pickup, nice catch action on the crown. So very nice, very well done. Now for the loom shot. As you can see, the loom is glowing very bright, and it is staying bright for, it's going to stay bright for a very long period of time. It's very legible. You can see you have all of those indices, all those hands, and the loom pip on the bezel. They're all filled with an even amount of C3 Superluminova. So I think they did an excellent job here, and you know, as to be expected at this price point. All right, now for a wrist shot. First, show you what I'm wearing right now, which is my Seastern 62 Mas Homage. This watch is awesome so far. I'm gonna have a review coming out for it soon. I don't want to give too much away, but I definitely really like it. You can see it's just a gorgeous, nice sunburst gray dial there. Really liking this one. So stay tuned for a review of that very soon. But this watch, let me get this on wrist. And there it is, just sits perfectly. And like I said, it does sit a little high, because of that thickness, because of that sort of protruding case back, but it's really not very noticeable on wrist. It really just sits nicely. It's very, very comfortable. Can't get over how comfortable this watch is. So yeah, perfect watch for all day, everyday wear. Absolutely. So, overall, I am blown away by the quality and the craftsmanship that goes into these Steinhart watches. The finishing and the materials used really make you feel like you're wearing a several $1,000 piece. And it's absolutely amazing to see that they can pack all these specs into a watch, finish it to absolute perfection, and yet still be able to charge just $539. And I know $539 sounds like a lot, and it certainly is a lot, but when you consider what you're getting, plus you take into consideration the fact that a watch like this with a well-known brand on the dial is not likely to go very far down in value as long as you don't destroy it. Matter of fact, this particular model, because of its exclusivity, will probably appreciate over time, considering you won't be able to buy it new. Speaking of which, unfortunately, this particular watch is out of stock on Gnomon Watch's website at the moment, but they should be back in stock in the near future with another limited production. I think we all know when you're talking about Swiss watches, and especially Swiss automatic watches, the price is always going to be higher than these Chinese or Japanese watches. The standard for a Swiss watch is just that much higher and therefore going to cost you more. By the way, I just want to mention that I don't get paid for any of these reviews. I'm giving you my completely unbiased opinion of these watches that I purchase with my own money. And also, I'm not even an affiliate for Steinhart or Gnomon watches, so I don't have a link to provide. I'm simply making this video because I genuinely love this watch and I really wanted to share that with you guys. So if you're looking for an entry-level Swiss automatic and you're okay with buying something that's paying homage to a famous Swiss watch, then I think any Steinhart Ocean 139 or even the 42 would make a perfect choice for you. You'll be getting a perfect everyday watch that will look great with any outfit, will be respected by everyone, and be reliable and keep accurate time. Really, what more do you want out of a watch? Mine is definitely not going anywhere, and this watch is definitely going to get a ton of wrist time. So thanks for watching, guys. Please remember to hit that subscribe button and hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. I will see you next time, guys, and remember to keep watching out.